Hello, I'm going to do an improvised Cioppino fisherman stew. And it's improvised because I don't have any white wine and I don't have any fennel. But I'll show you the rest of the ingredients I'm going to use instead, which is here. Can you see? There we go. So we've got half a red onion, because that was in the fridge. Oops. Leek. It's only a small one, so I'm going to use a full one because I've only got half an onion. And that is replacing one onion and half a fennel bulb. And then, because I don't have the fennel, I'm just going to try, there's that green pepper there, that needs using up, so that's going in. 125 grams of tomatoes, a stock cube, vegetable stock cube, because I don't have fish stock, garlic, bay, sweet paprika, and then herbs. And I've got these herbs out of the garden, and after that awful weather at the weekend, my fennel has blown and it broke, it snapped, so I can at least garnish it at the end with some fennel and lemon. And then for the fish, there's mussels and all sorts in Cioppino stew, and I don't have that, obviously, living in central England. So I've got cod. I'm only going to use one cod fillet and then just a few prawns as well, and save the rest for something tomorrow. So let's get cracking, shall we? First thing, turn on heavy base pan. I'm going to make the stock, kettle on. Should have done this before, hope it's not too noisy. But in the pan I've got a knob of butter, that much. It's probably about a tablespoon if you want to measure it out, I wouldn't bother. And then join that with some similar amount of olive oil. I'm just going to crack on, lid fell off that as I was showing you. Crack on and chop up the onion. That goes in first, onion and leek first. And like I say, this was hanging around in the fridge, so I may as well use that up. And the leek's past its best, and the pepper, well, that's pretty much had it, but it can go in, it'll be fine. Oh, and because I don't have fennel, I do have Pernod, which is a ANISEED flavour. So instead of the white wine, I'm going to use a splash of Pernod instead. I'm just measuring out the stock now. I'm doing it as we go along, just to show you how quick it is to do these things. If you just keep it rolling, keep it organised. I can hear the butter's crackling there, so I'm going to turn the heat down. Get back to the onion, and this is just going to be for me. Now, the recipe was for 4, so I've halved it. It might be too much, but who knows? I'm only going to put enough fish for me in, but the sauce might, I don't know, there might be too much, but I don't think so. 1, 2, yeah, no, I don't think there will be too much. So fine chop your onion. There we go, that's that. Quick and easy with your sharp knife. That goes into your oil and butter together. Then the leek. I have rinsed this, but I might just have to go and get further down. I do love fennel, but you know, I'm only going shopping once a week, so I didn't always think, and I just fancy the weather's just gone miserable, hasn't it? Was that summer? Is that summer over and done with? I went to bed last night and it was June, and I woke up and it seems to have flown into October. Don't know what that's all about. I know it's a bit weird in lockdown. All the days are running into one. Okay. Just the last part of this. I tend to just wash the leek as I go along, so I just pop to the sink and peel off those outer layers. You still use them, even if you've got grit in, just rinse off the grit. Keep chopping down until you know, you get a bit more, and then, yeah, it's not too much, that's not too bad. That's all going to go in. Gosh, there is going to be a lot here for me. I didn't have much lunch, so. Right. In fact, I'm just wondering if that's going to be far too much. I might leave that green pepper out and do something else with that. I've done with my stuff there. I'm just going to whiz these around. These just need softening off. I think I only needed half a leek, but it needs using, so. Anyway, there we go. Whiz that around. I'm going to cover it over for about 5 minutes. So rather than flash off and come back, I'm going to carry on preparing. The next thing to go in is the garlic. Oh, that onion's getting to my eyes. Ooh. 1 garlic clove. This is a bit like bouillabaisse, is it? The French bouillabaisse. It always reminds me of my first trip to Ireland. And my lovely friend had made this for me when I turned up at 8 o'clock, and she got this on the go. It was the first time I'd had it. Beautiful fresh fish, and it was absolutely stunning, and she served it with some garlic toast, so I'm going to do the same. What I was going to do with that garlic, that's busy talking again. I've got some old bread here, which I just discovered in the bread bin. It's really dry, so all I'm going to do is rub it with the garlic, and because I don't want it too garlicky, just rub over with. What my original plan was to halve the garlic and then just sort of rub it over, as the Italians do, because this is an Italian dish. It's an Italian-American dish. When the Italians were in America, I'm not sure whereabouts in America. No. Cioppino. I don't know where that comes from, I'll have to look it up. Anyway, bit of garlic on there. Put the oven on. Bit of garlic and splash of olive oil. This is the way the Italians do it. And oops. And then salt and pepper. And that can go in the oven. I've got the oven on about 200 degrees. I don't think it needs to be quite 190. Stick it on 190 for, I'm putting 6 minutes on, and we'll see how we go. I can sort of sense this is steaming away and bubbling a bit, so I'm just going to take a look at it. Yeah, those are cooking down nicely. Okay, so just another minute for those. I'm just going to chop this garlic up. I think in the recipe it said sliced, but I'm going to chop it. Okay, that's ready. Don't forget, do it on your garlic board or your onion board. When your sandwich is tasting of garlic. Okay, I've washed the tomatoes already, and those just need chopping up. Again, these are kind of going a bit wrinkly. They're absolutely fine, nothing wrong with them. Oops. And these are the sweet ones. Whoops. These are on the run. Don't even go into the stew, little tomatoes. What was I going to say? These are quite sweet. They're lovely, piccolino. And then I've got 2 others, not sure what those are. Anyway, chop them up small. Can you see what I'm doing there? And then by the time these are chopped, the onions and leeks will probably be done. You can see how many tomatoes I've got there. It's probably going to amount to, if you're not using the, I'm just using these because I've got them in the fridge. But if you've got, I suppose it would amount to 2 medium-sized tomatoes, 125 grams anyway, that's what the recipe suggests. But obviously, as usual, I can't be bothered weighing it out. I think that's about right. Okay, I think that this is, yeah, oh, yes, that's done. Can you see? Yeah, ow, ow, ow. Okay, in with the garlic. And the homegrown bay. The bay leaves are really, they just all keep springing back. Now summer's, well, I say summer, look at it outside. Okay, stir, I've turned the heat right down now, because I don't want the garlic singeing. It's if you do that. Whiz it round a little bit. Then in goes I think it's half a teaspoon. Yeah, half a teaspoon of sweet paprika. I think that's it, isn't it? It's just the Pernod. And then the stock. Now, it says, ooh, that smells nice. No, it doesn't say that at all, I say that. It says 50 mils of white wine, and I don't really drink white wine, so I haven't got any open. So, and because I don't have the fennel, let's try this. So I'm going to put 45 mil of that in, and then we just let that burn off the alcohol, let it sizzle away. 5 minutes, well, it won't be 5 minutes. Just a minute, maybe, just to take off that alcohol, just take off that. And then here's the vegetable stock. And I've got 130 mils of vegetable stock here. Because I think the original recipe is 50 mils of wine and 125 mils of veg stock. But because I'm using Pernod and it's probably a bit more flavourful than the white wine, I don't know what I've not done this before, it might be horrible, but I just thought I'd take you on the journey to find out. So I've kind of made up the same amount of liquid with the stock. Okay, I think that's probably nicely bubbled off. Was the expression I was looking for. And then with the tomatoes. I'm going to do the safe thing and take the board to the pan. In those go. And then I imagine, this is where I've stopped reading the recipe. So I imagine those you stir those around for a little bit. Well, this will be lovely with mussels, clams and things. Don't have them. So I'm going to let that cook off the tomatoes for a little while. Just check the recipe. There's tomatoes, fry for 2 to 3 minutes. So I'll just get that juice out. So I think, what shall I do next? Yes, prepare the herbs. I've washed these. Look at the parsley. A tip for growing your own parsley in the summer is a supermarket growing tub. Split it out. There's the timer for the garlic bread. No, it's not done. I'm going to stick it for another 4 minutes. So that gives the garlic bread 10 minutes. I thought it was going to be 10, but the bread was really dry to start with. So just want to air a little bit of caution there. Back to the parsley. Supermarkets, you can buy a little pot of herbs like the basil. Look at the basil. This has been going for weeks on the. Just keep picking them off and watering it, and they'll just keep coming back over the summer. Brilliant. with parsley, stick it in the garden, split off, take it out of the pot, split it into, you can see all the little roots, and each one of those is a separate plant. And so you can stick that in the garden when it's June, so you'd be fine doing that now, and water it. And after a few weeks, it'll start. I mean, this has been in about maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and that's the first big stem. There's another one of those, there's only 2, but it keeps coming back. So I'm going to chop this up to add in later. So a little tip there, a little herbage. Oh, I can smell this, beautiful. And this is a fennel plant that I've had for years. I even brought it with me when I moved. And it stays outside in the, I've got like an old Belfast sink that was in my yard when I bought my last house. And this fennel plant it just keeps coming back every year. It doesn't get very big, but because that's so, I'm always a bit reluctant to chop off the, oh, save that for when somebody comes round and need fresh fennel. And the seeds are if you like aniseed, the seeds are just so delicious. Pick them off. I think tomatoes, that's been a couple of minutes, hasn't it? That's going, yeah. Very nice, very nice. I thought this was going to be a bit more liquidy than it probably is. So, I'm not very good at demonstrating, am I? But you get the general gist with the herb. Rock your knife over them all and just keep going backwards and forwards. And scraping them all up, and backwards and forwards. It's as simple as that. Okay, I think at this stage we are ready for, shall I show you this so you know what it looks like? All that tomatoey liquid has evaporated. So that's what it looks like now. In goes the vegetable. I think I did say, didn't it? It should be fish stock. Don't have any. So veg stock. In we go with that. I've used a whole stock cube. I'm hoping that isn't going to be too salty, but I'm not going to add any more seasoning. Scrape all of that out. And then I just need to check the recipe again. I've not done this before. Because in all fairness, I've never really fancied fish stew until somebody made it for me. It was absolutely delicious. Okay, let's see. Okay, you can stop, if you want to prepare this in advance, this is the point at which you stop and cover it. If you're going to eat now, because fish will only take a matter of minutes to cook, and what they do, I'm just letting that, turn that heat right down, and what I'm going to do is, if I can get the packet open. Scissors, where are you? Oh, there's the timer for the garlic bread. Depends how toasty and crispy you like it. I'm going to stick it in for another 2 minutes. But, you know, it depends on what bread you're using. That was sourdough I picked up in the bargain bin. I think it was about 20 pence. I don't go out necessarily to buy stuff, but it's lasted, that's been in the bread bin for ages. And it's dried out, but it hasn't gone mouldy. Now, trying to find my scissors. Okay. The fish. I'm going to probably do the cod. I didn't show you, and I wish I had because it was lovely. So I will do another version. It was cod with cardamom. It was cardamom and lime, I think, and ginger and cardamom, but there was lime as well. It was so delicious. It was really, just going to rinse this, fragrant. So I'll show you, that's really simple and really tasty, really quick. So I'm just going to think I'm going to cut this into big, it's not small chunks, biggish chunks. And it says to just nestle them in. So nestle them into the sauce, like so. And then a few prawns. And what I do, usually, I did pick these up when I went shopping for a treat, but I always buy the frozen prawns, and you've just got them to hand then in the freezer, haven't you? So it's 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to half a dozen king prawns. So I think the idea now is you just cover for about, I would say 5 minutes. I'll check the recipe, just rinse my hands, check the recipe. Shall I come back? Shall I leave it at that and come back? There's garlic bread again. But, you know, just creep and go with your garlic bread. It's always to be cautious and you know, you can always put it in again, but if it's burnt, then you can't rescue it, can you? I'm just going to put it in again. It's not quite crispy enough. I'm going to put this timer on now for 4 minutes, and I'll check when the fish is cooked. Sprinkle your herbs in and devour. Happy Cioppino fisherman stew. There we go. That's what it looks like. And then you just sprinkle on your herbs. Serve it up. I guess you'd serve it up first and then put your herbs on. And enjoy. I'm going to post a picture of the ginger, cardamom and lime recipe because I remember taking a photograph when I did it. So I'll post the recipe onto the Facebook page. And because it's dead simple, you don't need me to show you how to grate a lime and crush some cardamom pods, because that's all it is. You'll just need the recipe, and it's dead simple and really tasty. But what you might need is what to serve it with. So I'll have a little think about what might go nicely with that. I can't remember what I had with it last week or the week before. Anyway, I'll be back soon. I've just devoured that and it was gorgeous. Maybe a little salty. I don't mind salt. I quite like it salty. But maybe you just want to use half a stock cube. I was going to add, if you don't have white wine or Pernod or Ricard or Ouzo from any of those holidays you've been on, you could try crushing some fennel seeds if you've got those. But the Pernod worked really well, and it wasn't too much, so nice aniseed flavour came through. Squeeze of lemon on. I can't remember if I mentioned that or not. But yeah, it worked very well. I missed the fennel because fennel has it's a bit different from the leeks, but it was still fine and it was still delicious. And it only took about 5 minutes to cook the cod. The cod was I think there were fillets. It wasn't very thick. Don't overcook. You certainly don't overcook the prawns. And those weren't. It was delicious. So I hope you have a go at that. Let me know how you get on, or if you want me to help you formulate a recipe that you haven't got the ingredients for, but you've got other things. Just let me know. Put a comment down, and I'll try and help you. Anyway, well, happy fish stew, and I hope you try it.